Hey everyone. I yeah. Um, I just wanted to get on a video and say some stuff about Michael Brooks and what he meant to me. Um, my sort of history with MR and what um, everything he's done had kind of helped build up. I don't care that the green screen looks like shit. It's just gonna look like shit. I'm doing this really quick as opposed to streaming because I have a little bit more control over this than if I'm on a stream, and I'm thinking of streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Um, I have followed the Majority Report since 2011, since before Michael was on, and I've watched him come on and become just an absolute superstar. Back then, back before 2016, the show just kind of felt like this kind of tiny little club. It was weirdly both larger than life and closely knit. Um, a number of people have connected through that community, and I've connected with a number of them, especially after 2016. We kind of coalesced on Twitter. A number of us became friends over that, and I was all too happy to be a part of that. And we'd always joke, like the biggest thing that we would joke around about, like I don't know why it was that, but we'd always joke around about Michael. Um, we we gave him shit about his shirts when they came out, for TMBS, and I was I was one of the only people who didn't reach out to him because I have this thing that I'm working on. I'm getting better on it, but I have an anxiety problem. Even though I've called in and talked to him a handful of times, uh, I just never felt like it was something I could do. Even though everyone kept telling me, just do it, just message him, just see what's up with him. Just like he always answers back. He's really nice. Just do it. And like, oh, we all talk to him. I'm like, no, no, I'm not I'm not worthy. But when I'd call in, usually I would talk to Sam, but there were a couple times that I called in and talked to him. I remember one time I called in talking about, you know, being in interracial relationships with him briefly, and the different things that kind of blew my mind that I never thought of as a white person. And we talked briefly about that, and that was really cool. Like I posted on Twitter, there was the time that he just ignore this shit. I just realized I have all this fucking shit on here and I didn't turn it off. I should have just made a new scene. Just called it good. But there was a time that you know I called in. I had concerns before 2016. I tried to find it. I can't remember when I called in, and I told him that I started to feel really worried that this felt like 2004, that we had a unlikable candidate. And I made the joke. I'm like, nobody liked John Kerry. I mean, most people thought he was an asshole. And just Michael chimes in and just goes, "Fuck you," and just I had to keep it together. Like people see on my streams, like I joke around a lot, and that's who I am naturally. But when I'm uh, intimidated by someone, I don't really do that. Um, I didn't get the chance to do that except for in I am form. You know, it's easy to do over text, but I never reach it out. So if this looks like fucking cottage cheese or Swiss cheese, I don't care. I keep having to break for a moment to, you know, do what you do. This year has been just unbelievable in so many ways. Um, those that know what we had been through, me and my wife, um, know that she had a bottom out on her bipolar earlier this year, which caused her to have to stay in the hospital for a week. And I turned to Twitch and I watch Majority Report every day. And before, Majority Report was something that just was fun and made me feel informed and kind of taught me a lot. And after 2016, it helped to keep me sane and influenced me to want to start something. I did one attempt when I was still streaming games. I would do it on my YouTube channel, and it was kind of bullshit, but it helped me figure out what I wanted to do, what I'm capable of doing, and eventually I just said fuck it and pulled the trigger on doing politics on Twitch, and it was a great decision to make. But it's been trying at times emotionally, and you know, after my wife got out of the hospital, I got a new job and had to stream less. Then she found out that she was pregnant. Then everything shut down because of COVID. And in our small little center of the internet, there are some people that people at Michael's stature never knew existed, but were amazing people in that political sphere who had that ability to dissect things in a very special way. And of course, it's when we lost Coupe de Jour through another surprising, just completely out of nowhere death. And I don't know if any of us had totally gotten over that before this, but I'm sorry, I'm trying to distract away because it helps me center and then start talking about Michael again. But it's been crazy year for everyone. It's been very much crazy for me and my household. I still think it's crazy that we're bringing a baby into this fucking world, but we're gonna do our damnedest to make sure that he's uh, a reason I keep fighting, and I'm gonna make him into a fighter. Everything that I do on my stream, the way I carry myself, to the way I do things, the impressions, the more analytical side of things, where I make it a point to not jump to conclusions. I try to stop myself and think. I try to put myself in a mindset to view something from all angles, and that all came from Michael. Also, I believe Michael was the best. His impressions were amazing, not just because they were accurate, which sometimes the voice would just be completely exaggerated, but the essence of it was there. And I think it was his ability to, still love the people behind the awful public persona, but at the same time know your enemy. Examine who they are, what they do, and why they do it. Which is why I've handled myself in the way that I have with people that have come in. Like, I don't see the takes that I give, and I hope that's something that people appreciate that I do. And all of that is influenced by Michael. Hearing his view that the goal is to help everyone, and you look at these people and you're just like, can't you see I'm trying to fucking help you, you piece of shit? Like, I don't care that it helps, some Mexican or Haitian immigrants or something. Like, let them be humans too. And it was amazing to witness that day after day after day. Way back with old Matt and the Michael and Matt Mondays, where Michael would always play some reggae stuff that I would just feel like, what the hell? Who the fuck listens to reggae? To now, when he had to stream from his apartment in order to be on MR, in order to do TMBS, and it was amazing to see the way that he would weave between, the dunking on fools mentality to talking about why and how you can help people. And that focus on remembering that on the other end of everything. You get a sock account, there's a person behind that. Maybe they have several accounts and it's the same person, but it's still a person. It's a human being behind that account. On the other side of every Twitter name is a human being. And I I really respect him for helping me remember that and giving me a reason to keep that focus in everything that I do. And I hope that's everyone's focus. It's one of the reasons why I'm so over dunk culture and all this shit, and I don't really participate in the mobs online at all, because that mindset of at some point we're still going to be the goal would still be to help these people. We don't have to embrace them, I get that, but they're still human beings, and our goal is to not just help us, but it's to help everyone, to make a better future for everyone. He was laser focused on that. And I could have been that guy. I probably should have been. Reach out. I mean, everyone kept telling me, like I said earlier, everyone kept telling me, like, no, you can message him. Like, they offered to let me in his Discord, and I was like, yeah, just hang out. He's not going to give a shit that you're not a Patreon. Like, he's going to get it. We'll explain it to him. Like, it'll be alright. I'm like, no, it feels wrong. But honestly, I was more intimidated by him and how amazing he was at what he did and how influential he was. And like I said, I'm gonna be working on not doing that. I'm not letting my anxiety hold me back anymore. When I feel like I need to reach out to somebody, I'm going to do it. So Mike, Lance, you guys are going to be hearing a little bit more from me when I feel like reaching out. I'm going to be doing that because it's like every time we've talked, it's always been really great, and I appreciate both of you guys and what you do and how you try to lift little guys like us up. And I think I need to stop being a chicken shit and stop worrying about being accused of being a clout chaser and just accept that, you know, you guys want someone like me there, which is a thought that I have had a lot of trouble coming to terms with over my life, really. That I'm wanted in a circle. So, yeah. And Michael wasn't afraid to do that. He was never afraid to just reach out to somebody. That's how he got to talk to all the amazing people he did. He got to talk to every single one of his heroes. And that's pretty awesome. I wanna learn from that. I wanna follow that example, not just for myself, but for this thing that we're trying to create. I think there's a problem with infighting among all of us, and I've been hard against it. There's a number of people that I choose to not even engage because I don't want to fight with them. Because I would never accuse somebody of being a fake leftist or being a liberal or anything like that. I've tried really hard not to do that. Um, I've just thought that you know, even though we can be separate from each other, like they can work on their stuff in their space, and I don't have to worry about dealing with the fight or whatever it is that they're trying to do that I isn't my way. You know, diversity of tactics and shit. But I still feel like they have a place in all of this, and that's fine. They're still on the left. They're still fighting for the same things. I don't know what's in their hearts, and unfortunately, we don't have the technology to do that. So, you know, we're just not. But I think that we all need to take a minute and remember that. Remember that because we don't like someone, it doesn't mean we have to engage with them at all. It means that we can kind of just acknowledge that we don't like that thing, and we can move past it. People are allowed to exist. We can tolerate people's existence because even if they don't exist around us or at us, they're still human beings, and we can just kind of step back and be like, well, it's not something I want to be around. And that's okay. That's okay. And that's the project he wanted. He wanted not unity necessarily, but solidarity. We don't have to get along. We don't have to like each other. We just have to get the shit done. And even though I've had some fights in the past, I've taken the stance for a little while now, people might have noticed, to just distance myself, and you know, I might crack a joke about them every now and then, but ultimately I'm just like, I'm not going to tell them that they shouldn't be on this platform. There's definitely people that I don't want on this platform, but they're not on the left or even the perceived left, and yes, that includes Destiny. I don't want him to delete his account. I just want him to go back to debating right wingers. So yeah, this is supposed to be about Michael, and trust me, it is, because this is all influenced by that man. You know, him and Sam were so formative in me wanting to start a thing in the first place, feeling like my voice should be heard, that I have a perspective to give. And I'm always going to be appreciative of this, no matter how long I decide to do this. I'm appreciative that I tried in my own little way to make a difference for a future that isn't that distant for any of us. So much about his passing hit close to home. Michael was only a year older than me. It was sudden. He always seemed incredibly youthful. He took care of himself. And just out of nowhere. And there was nothing anyone could do. So, even though there was nothing anyone could have done to prevent his death, we can do a lot in his memory. And I think he'd be happy about that. Because we wouldn't be doing, he wouldn't care that we wouldn't be doing it for him. And if you tell yourself that you're doing it for him and that makes you get your ass going, then fine. But he wouldn't have cared. He just wanted to get shit done. So I encourage you to take your time to grieve, as we all are. Do it how you're comfortable. Apparently my way is to scroll through Twitter and like every comment regarding him and stay up way too late. And to apparently record a video that I don't even know if anyone's even going to watch, because, you know, I get people on my YouTube or I get people on my Twitch, but that's about it. It's not a lot. But if for the people who do come across this and do care, you're not alone. That's a number one goal that Mike taught me. We're not alone. I thought for the longest time, being on the left in the United States, we were this lonely thing, that there was nowhere for us to go. We had to accept everything. And when I found out that there was people fighting for all this around the world, was just something I never thought of. I thought everybody, you know, there were places with wars, and there were places where there weren't. Places where there weren't, they're getting along fine. They seem to be doing better than us, and figuring everything out and caring about people. And I found out there's a world apparatus trying to keep the left out of power. You know, everywhere from South America to Africa, to Europe, India, Asia, Australia, all over. There's so many of us who are trying our damnedest, and we keep getting beat down, but we keep getting back up. Because it's far more important that we fight for what we're fighting for than what happens to any single one of us. And Michael taught that. So, if any of the crew from any of the shows, I doubt it, come across this, you know, I'm Mark from Flint. Hi. You clipped a few of my calls, and you guys were so amazing to let me rant, and I wish I was better on the phone. I think I'd be better these days, and I appreciate you guys letting me promote the last thing I did, which is the interview with the people doing the UAW strikes, the UAW workers. It was amazing of you. Every other time, I didn't know how to call in, or I was working and couldn't. But I want you guys to know that you're amazing, and whatever direction the show goes in after this, you'll still be keeping people like me sane through all this mess. You have always been the sobering voice on the left who, when something happens, instead of jumping to a conclusion, jumping to a decision, a solution, or whatever, it's this, it's that, it's that, it's this, you gotta react like this, you gotta look at it like that. You have always been the types to go, hang on. Let's get the information and let's make the right decision rather than just a decision. And I appreciate that about you guys. This doesn't end with Michael. And if you ever need somebody who does a really good Dave Rubin, Obama, or whatever, I am capable. I don't know. That's stupid. But I don't know. If you ever want to do like some edited work that you want me to record or something, I learned how to do an Obama impression and even my Dave Rubin impression through Michael. And people in my stream tell me it's pretty good. So, hey, I do it right now, but I can't. Not right now. But thank you all for whoever watches this rambling fucking mess of a tribute to a man who sometimes would sound like he was a rambling mess, but would do it in the funniest way possible, or even the most insightful way possible. You guys definitely made an impression on this 35-year-old college dropout from Flint, Michigan. So, I hope yet another story like that helps. And just know, everyone, every single one of you who view this as a human being, and even though I might yell at you in my chat, I still love you and I want the best for you, because that's what this fight is for. That's what Michael was saying every single day. Never forget that.